Okay, I think we're live. Hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday Sprints. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. You know the drill. Let me know what you are going to be reading / working on today. If you're going to be taking a nap today, let me know. I don't plan on being here as long as I normally am. I don't plan on being here as long as I normally am. But I'll still be here for at least 3 sprints, 3 1-hour sprints, so we can get some good reading in. I haven't really been reading these past couple of days. I mean, I say that, but like I've been reading a chapter of Atomic Habits pretty much every single day. I mean, I didn't read it Friday or Saturday because it's going to be like a weekday type of thing. I know Friday is technically a weekday, but it's the weekend. Like once you get home from work on Friday, it's the weekend. So, yeah, like that's going to be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday type of deal. And besides that, like I haven't been listening to audiobooks at work on Thursday and Friday. I was watching Outer Banks. Like I've just been watching a lot of TV shows and not reading a lot. Cause I just want to watch TV. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, books are boring. I don't like them. But then yesterday, I did restart The Last of Us for the second time. So this is my third time through. Because I can't say third time rewatching because that's not correct. It would be my second time rewatching, my third time watching. So yeah. And now I just watch it for the acting. Like I get it. It's kind of obsessive to watch a show like a lot of times, even more than once before the next season comes out. Because normally if a new season of a show is coming out, I will go back and rewatch maybe all the seasons, maybe just the previous season if there was like 5 seasons before that, just to get a refresher. But yeah, I've just been rewatching The Last of Us back to back to back to back, and I can't get enough. But yeah, it's more so like I pay attention to the smaller details and the way that they deliver lines and stuff, and it's just amazing. And I don't cry in episode 3, and I'm not going to apologize. I have yet to cry in episode 3, but like I think it's episode 4 that my first tears occur. Not even in episode 1. I mean, if you know, you know. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I feel like I'm the person who people can come to and be like, hey, I really want to watch this show. Like, will you watch it? And the answer will always be yes. I'll be like, okay, let's watch it. Kind of like how I was with Elvis, where I was just rewatching that with a bunch of people because I just wanted to watch it over and over again. I haven't seen Elvis in a while. Maybe I should rewatch that. I don't know. It's a comfort show. So who cares? I will not be rewatching Outer Banks, but like, did I rewatch the first 2 seasons to watch season 3? Of course I did. But like, that was in preparation. That's normal because I wanted to be in the know for the new season. Anyway, but yeah, I do need to watch shows that I haven't watched, like the Book of Boba Fett, because I was kind of confused at episode 1 of season 3 of The Mandalorian, and I watched it, and then I saw an article the next day that was like, oh, if you didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett, you might be confused by The Mandalorian season 3, and I was like, how did they know? I didn't even say it out loud, but your phone knows. Google knows what you're thinking about, not even if you say it out loud. And so I've been watching that, but then I was like, okay, but The Last of Us exists, so why would I not watch that right now? But yesterday, getting back to reading, I did start a manga series called Happiness. I don't know who it's by. And I read like the first 8 volumes of it while I was watching The Last of Us, like during the parts that I didn't care about as much, And I'm like, I've been there, I've seen that, even though I've seen all of it. But I read the first 8 volumes. So that's all the reading I've been doing the past 5, 6-ish days. I don't know. But hopefully I get back in the reading mood soon. And I did check out a couple of more graphic novels and manga through my library, so maybe I'll be doing that during sprints today. Not really sure, but I also have an arc that I need to read by Tuesday that I haven't started. But it's never a good thing though when you like have to read something, because it just makes you not want to read it. But anyway, how are you all doing today? What are you going to be doing during sprints? Yes, I love that. Hello, Kay. Yes, I did see your message. I forgot to respond. Sorry, but yes, I forgot to schedule them. And then I realized it was a new month, because normally at the beginning of the month I schedule them for the rest of the month, and I forgot that we are now in March. So that's why they were not scheduled, but maybe I should do that during the first sprint, schedule the rest. I look forward to these sprints all week. I'll be finishing Icebreaker by Hannah Grace during sprints. I'm 55% in. I'm not enjoying this one bit. I'm committed to finishing it. Yeah, I saw that you were not enjoying it 22% in. So I'm surprised you continued. I mean, at 55, yeah, once you hit the 50% mark, I feel like I often will just push through a book because I've already spent so much time on it, even if I'm going to hate it. I'm like, at least let me get something out of it. Like, give it that 2-star it deserves, or 1 star. But I'm so sad you're not liking it. I've heard mixed things, so I haven't really wanted to pick that one up. Hello, reading Crest by Marissa Meyer. Nice. I'm reading A Record of Spaceborne Few today, and I never planned for a nap, but it just sometimes takes me. I feel that. I'm going to try to get some work done and pack while you're talking. Nice. Rereading House of Earth and Blood. Last 200 pages, been reading for hours. I mean, I'm rewatching shows, you're rereading books. That's what I should be doing. Like, if I'm gonna have a comfort anything, it should be a book. It should, but my attention span is not what it used to be. Hello, I'm just over 100 pages into American Royals by Katharine McGee, but I'm not loving it, so I'm going to give it this first print to see if I should DNF. Oh no, American Royals. Oh yeah, I know that series. It's been like recommended to people who like Gossip Girl. Maybe I know Michelle really likes at least one of the books in those series. Maybe the whole series. I don't know, but I know the newest one. Maybe it's called Rivals, with the 2 people on it back to back. She gave that one 5 stars, but I don't know about the rest of the series. Who would have thought Sarah would be here? I know, right? It's just like, it was not planned at all. Hello, Rye. Hello, Skylar. Reading Moby Dick Illustrated, The Dragon's Bride, and The Last Daughter. Interesting. I've heard of a book called The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante, but I have not heard of The Last Daughter. Have I? And I have read The Dragon's Bride. I didn't really like it, but there were aspects of it that are really funny to me, and I will cherish them always. Yeah, I was binging Netflix until I got out of the slump recently. I feel like you just need to give your brain... Oh my god, I just had like a literal brain fart. Anyway, sometimes you just need to give your brain a break. Clearly, I need to. Hi, I am starting The It Girl. This book never... I'm still reading The It Girl. This book never ends. Oh, I meant to say that I did look up the cover that you were talking about, the not gold one, the one with like pink and white font, and I like that one a lot better. But why didn't you DNF? That's what I want to know. Hello, I'm going to have to use these sprints as productivity sprints because I have too many boring chores to take care of. Oh no, glad to have you here though. No, I rewatch shows as a comfort thing a lot. Exactly. Like, it's just, I know. I'm delivering the lines as they're delivering the lines. That's how it became with Heartstopper. Like, I would just, for every single character, I could be like saying their lines as they're saying them, not like right before or right after. It was like, I'm saying them in time with them. That's how many times I watched that show. It hasn't come to that with The Last of Us, but I would not be surprised. But there are things that I do miss that I'm like, Oh, I didn't pick up on that the first or the second time. So I'd say it's a benefit. Hello. Good morning, Sarah. How's it going? It's going great, Roger. How are you? Hi, I'm listening to Now That I Found You. I will be cleaning up today. Nice. I do the same thing with shows I really like. I watched Wednesday 3 times in 1 week. I watched it twice by myself and then as a family show. Like me, my mom, and my sister get together every Wednesday. Well, now it's every other Wednesday. So we would watch Wednesday on Wednesday, but I had already seen it twice. I was like, I know a great show we should watch. And they're like, we don't want to watch something that you've already seen. And I'm like, I do not care. I try to get them to watch Yellow Jackets too, but my mom's on board. But my sister's like, yeah, that doesn't really seem like a show I want to watch. So but it's a really good show, and I will be rewatching Yellow Jackets at some point. And I think the second season is coming out pretty soon. So it's the perfect excuse. If you haven't watched Yellow Jackets, I highly recommend. I gave up on the Book of Boba Fett. I was so excited for that show and then so bitterly disappointed. Yeah, I'm just like looking forward to the parts that Grogu's in. Cause like I watched the first 3 episodes the other day and I'm like, I don't care about any of these characters. Like, I just want to see Grogu. But there are like compilations and stuff on YouTube where they cut like every single scene that Grogu's in and just like put all those together in one video. But out of context, I'm like, am I missing something else? So I am watching the Book of Boba Fett, but like not paying full attention. I'll just be like on my phone. And then when Grogu comes on, I'll be like, you know, I was binge rewatching Girls HBO Max last night and having the time of my life. I was rewatching that too a couple of weeks ago. I forgot I was rewatching it. I should probably finish that. But I love that show. I've seen it only once all the way through, but I feel like I've seen the first season like 3 times. Great show. Have you played The Last of Us game? I have not, but I really want to. I still need to watch The Mandalorian and finish Andor, but and The Flash season 9, so those two might be impeded. The Mandalorian is so good. I was like, I am a sci-fi girly now. The Flash season 9 started. Yeah. I've never been interested in The Flash, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a whole new bitch. It's for a book club. I own it, so I'm making myself finish it. Fair enough. The fact that it's a series is really pushing my DNF plan, lol. Yeah. I found The Last Daughter on TikTok from the author, buddy reading it with a Discord friend and loving it. That's amazing. Hello, Sammy. I'm reading Playing Nice by JP Delaney. Ooh, I've heard some good things about that one. I think I own it. I think I do. No, that's the only JP Delaney I don't own. I own The Girl Before, The Perfect Wife, and Believe Me, but I don't own that one. I love Ruth Ware too much to DNF one of her books. Fair enough. I feel that way. I'm like loyal to authors and they don't even know I exist. I'm like, I can't do this to them and they could care less. It's by Alexis L. Menard. Interesting. I did not make it to the Grogu appearance, frankly. Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of confused. Not extremely confused by the season 3 thing, but I was like, that happened. When did that happen? And then I kind of just moved on. So I could just not watch the Book of Boba Fett, but like, if I can get more Grogu content, like, why would I not? I'm doing good, hoping to get some reading done today. Last week, I ran into another food coma. Oh no. I did, however, obsessively watch Andor because I have a strange, intense love for Stellan Skarsgård. I have no idea what this is. Like, I don't know who Stellan Skarsgård is, and I do not know what Andor is. I'm guessing it's part of the Star Wars universe. I'm a newbie, okay? An absolute newbie. All I know is The Mandalorian. So I just need to be schooled on all things Star Wars. All right, let us hop into our first sprint. I will see you all in 1 hour. Hello. How did we all do during that first sprinty sprint? I spent the first couple of minutes watching a booktube video. Shocking. I've been watching a lot of like non-booktube videos on YouTube recently, but I watched a booktube video and then I started reading Paper Girls. And I have read the first volume of Paper Girls before, but that was like not last December, but the December before that. So it's been a while. So I just reread the first one. And I don't know where I'm at now because I got this edition of it where it's like the complete story. So it's all 5 or 6 volumes in one. But it doesn't tell you where it ends, like where the first and second one ends. Because I know for sure I'm in the second one now because I don't remember any of this stuff that's happening. And I'm on page 257 out of 788. So I think I'm in the second volume. I don't think it's the third, but either way, I'm really liking it. And I forgot that this is also a show. So maybe after I finish this, all volumes of it, I can watch the show, even though I am aware that they only made 1 season of it, and I think it just follows volumes 1 through 3, and then it got canceled for whatever reason. I don't know if enough people watched it or that enough people knew about it, because obviously I forgot about it too. But I don't know. I'm kind of interested in watching it. I really do like the graphic novels. They're really fun, and it's just my vibe. Again, it's sci-fi. There's time travel. It's reminding me of what else did I watch yesterday? I feel like I watched something yesterday that was time travel based. Anyway, I'm blanking, but how did we all do during that sprint? I did miss a couple of comments that came in during the sprint, so let me catch up with those. Also, the problem is not that it is bad, just boring, and I just know something will happen soon. Andor is the newest Star Wars TV show. It lines up timeline-wise with the Rogue One movie and Stellan Skarsgård. I'll send you a DM. I didn't check my phone during that sprint, so I will during the next one. But you probably did send me a DM. But Rogue One, yeah, like I know pretty much all of the titles of like movies and stuff. I mean, Andor, obviously I'm not well versed in that, but Rogue One, like I've heard of it. I just don't know anything. Oh wait. Hello, Jan. I'm reading Man-Made Monsters and need to freaking finish for my book club. Been reading this for 5 days. Yeah, I've heard some not great things about it, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna pick it up. Maybe if I see more people give it a good rating, then I will. But so far, I've seen a lot of people slogging through it. Andor is actually quite good so far. I was pleasantly surprised by it, and Andor is the last name of the main character, which I didn't know either before starting it. Interesting. Yes. So there's only 1 season of Andor, and it's on Disney Plus. Is it part of like the new Star Wars universe, or is it an older movie? Because I do appreciate older films and movies. Like I don't think I would ever watch the OG Star Wars movies because that does not seem like my jam. I mean, I'll try with the new wave of things, but if I have to in order to get context, I will. I don't know. I think I'm already DNFing American Royals by Catherine McGee. 5 minutes into the sprint, LOL, the thought of leaving off on a cliffhanger for this 4+ book series is not doing it for me. Yes, I also fully support this. Hello, Laura. Hello, everyone. Going to be working on psychology and might pick up David Copperfield after. Nice. I've never read that, but I feel like it's a staple. Taking a reading break. Already read 200 pages today. Amazing. To watch Elvis. You reminded me, Sarah. It's on my movie subscription service now. So a movie break. Yes. A long movie break. Over 2 hours. So I don't know if you'll be here for the chatty bits or not, or if you're just going to pause it to come say hi to me while we're talking, but you'll definitely finish the movie before I end this Friends, which is amazing. But 200 pages, amazing. I love Elvis. Definitely a good time for a movie break, Kay. Exactly. I'm really liking Final Girls even more now. It took me a while to get into, but I'm there. You've been reading that one for a while now, right? Is that the only book that you've been reading, or have you been like flip-flopping between another one? Hello, everyone. Reading Ender's Game. Hello. Hello, Katrina. I'm listening to Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. I own that one, and I have owned it for a while. I actually owned a signed. I own a signed copy of that book, and I haven't read it. I haven't even read Wilder Girls. I own that one as well. I've heard good things, more so about Wilder Girls than Burn Our Bodies Down. But in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna like Burn Our Bodies Down better than Wilder Girls. I had coffee, washed my face, brushed my teeth, talked with mom, and watched BookTube. Yes, I also have my coffee with me. Love, love. Read to 57% into The Dragon's Bride. Loving it. Nice. And that's a quick one to get through. Ooh, looks like I'm here just in time to chat and sprint again. Yes, you are. Hello, Quinn. Decided to start Don't Tell a Soul by Kirsten Miller instead, and I'm liking it a lot more. Don't Tell a Soul. This one isn't ringing a bell. Usually when I say a book out loud, I can imagine the cover, but this one, it's like blank. Ate lunch and updated my reading journal. Nice. Started falling asleep while listening to the Atlas 6, so I got to make lunch. Is it because it's bad or you're just tired? I helped my brother out with his niece. LOL, she's a handful. 50 pages of Fury Song. Made it to page 190 out of 339 of Final Girls. Nice. The Paper Girls show was so good. That's amazing because I haven't heard of anyone who's actually watched it. I know people were anticipating it, obviously, because Paper Girls is arguably one of the more well-known, I guess, graphic novel series in the BookTube community. Maybe? Am I making that up? I don't know. I feel like that was the one everyone was talking about a couple of years ago, at least. But yeah, people were talking about the show coming out, but I had never heard anyone who had actually watched it. So I'm glad that you really liked it. Hello, how are you today? I am almost finished with Tripping Arcadia. Thank God I'm not liking it. You're not having a lot of luck. Did you end up liking... Were you reading Man-Made Monsters last week? Did you end up liking it? Let me know. Also, I'm doing well. How are you? I too watched a BookTube video at Sprint. Oops. There's no oops, okay? Just take it like this. At least you didn't nap. I mean, a nap is still good, but you take what you can get. I read 21 pages and watched a bit of Next in Fashion while eating dinner. I don't know if I want to watch this season. I did watch the last one whenever that one came out. I feel like the first season came out 3 years ago almost, and I love Tan France, but I really like Alexa. So I'm confused why they replaced her. I am here. I paused, of course. Hello, Jean. Started my book club book and fell asleep. The Club Dumas by Arturo Perez Reverte. Very film noir mystery. Also started... can't speak. Also started Zodiac Academy 5, Cursed Fates, but need to read my book club book, but it needs so much thought. I enjoyed Wilder Girls. Burn Our Bodies Down is a lot of whining so far. I think I just base it off of the cover. I'm like, I love the vibes of Burn Our Bodies Down more. Yeah, that's all I've been reading. Shockingly, I know. Jan took over for me on the reading multiple books train. LMAO. I meant my niece. Yes, I totally know what you were saying. Don't worry. His kid, yes. I really loved Paper Girls. It is horrible it was canceled after season 1 and didn't get a season 2. Yeah, I was like, at least give them a season 2. So many good shows are canceled after the first season, and it really makes me mad. And especially if they end on a huge cliffhanger, and you're like, we're never gonna know. I just wish that the creators of the show or whatever, I mean, with a book series, it makes less of a headache for the viewer because like you could just read the book to know how it pans out, or like the series or whatever. But with something that's new, something that's coming off the top of my head, I'm not okay with this. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I'm not okay with this. Had 1 season, ended on a huge cliffhanger, and we'll never know what happened because there's nothing else. They should just put out like a statement or something saying like, here's how each storyline wraps up. Just put a stamp on it, release it into the wild, and just let us know because we are invested. I just wrapped up 1 report for work, so going to shift to packing up things in the kitchen. Moving sucks. Yes, it does. It's very stressful. I mean, it's nice like once it's nice in theory. You're like, okay, so I'm gonna be in a new place, get to set up everything the way I want, and being in a new space in general is just nice. But the actual act of like packing everything up is so stressful. Hello, I'm going to be reading Play to Win by Jody Slaughter. Hello. Definitely not an app. Yeah, I didn't like Man-Made Monsters either, but I did read and love Ghost Eaters in between. I loved Ghost Eaters as well. I gave that one 5 stars. Yes. I am on the last episode of Next in Fashion, and I liked Alexa too, but Gigi does a great job too. I don't dislike Gigi at all, but I'm just like, why? Why did you replace Alexa? Like, what? Yeah, this book is going by really quick. I've read The Kraken Sacrifice and really like that too. Nice. I'm not okay with this. Still hurts. I agree. A UK prison drama. The warden was shot at the end of the season. They canceled it. I've not forgotten this 20 years later. It really sticks with you. I just really wish they would do like a formal letter. Not just somebody theorizing, not just like a Reddit post, but the actual director, the creator being like, here's what happened. Because it would cost $0 to just put out like a letter informing you of what everything wraps up to be if you don't have the money to continue funding like the actual shooting of the series or movie or whatever. Not movie. Well, I guess movie series. Moving is great for sorting out your stuff and getting rid of stuff. We hoard so much. It definitely is because you're like, do I really want to put the effort into packing this? And if you don't, then you just simply give it up. Mike Flanagan let everyone know how the Midnight Club was going to end. I was so sad that show got canceled. I never finished that show. I tried my best, but me and Mike Flanagan do not get along for whatever reason. All right, let us hop into our next sprinty sprint. Hello, Cami. And I will see you all in 1 hour. Hello, welcome back. How did everyone do during that second sprint? I, again, don't really know what story I'm on or like what volume of Paper Girls I'm on. I think I'm on the last one now because I am 626 pages into it out of 788. So I feel like that's probably the last one. It feels like we're wrapping things up now. So I will definitely be able to finish it in the next sprint. But I'm like, I don't want to log it on Goodreads as just one book. But at the same time, I can't individually rate them because I don't know when each each volume started and ended. So maybe I'll just rate the last one and say like this is a rating for the entire series. I don't know. Have you guys ever done that before? I know even for like the Mindfuck series, there was an option to just log it as the bind up version and not all 5 books. But I was like, if it's 5 individual books on KU, like I want to be able to say that I read 5 books and not just one. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to do. I think I'll just rate the last story or the first one. I don't even know what I rated it the first time I read it because obviously that one I knew when it started and ended. So maybe I'll just give it the same rating I did the first time around for volume 1, and then for the last volume, give it a rating overall. So there'll just be ratings on the first and the last. I'm still confused if there's 5 volumes or 6. I think it's 5. Anyway, but how did you guys do during that sprint? Also, I didn't even say this. I was just talking about like how we have a hate-love relationship. No, Mike Flanagan and I have like a love-hate relationship, but I think it's really great that he did do this. That he let everyone know. Like that's amazing, and that's what we want. With Twin Peaks, one of the creators put out a book after the show ended, and again after the return season 20 years later. 20 years later is just a long time to wait. And it's like, yeah, some of these shows that are canceled, I guess, could come back, but I feel like once enough time has passed, people just don't care anymore. I mean, I guess you could just heckle the freaking creators for a long time until they do something about it, but enough shows don't have that much of a following to continue to do so because there's always like something else to watch, something else to be obsessed with. I don't know, but it worked for Sense8. I know the creators are probably really mad about people bullying them into creating not another season. I don't think they created another full season, but it was like a special of a couple of episodes. So I don't know how the behind the scenes of that went, where all the actors were asked to come back for that specifically after getting the news that they were canceled originally. And then it was like, oh yeah, never mind. We're just gonna do this special couple of episodes. I never watched that show, but I heard about all the drama surrounding it, that everyone was so mad and there were petitions being signed that it should come back, and the ending wasn't satisfying enough, so they ended up coming back. So it's worked, but it wouldn't work for everything. And also, I'm getting so angry that more and more shows are being released like either weekly or a couple of episodes at a time. It's fine when you know about it up front. Like for an HBO show like Euphoria or The Last of Us, or I can't even think of another HBO show off the top of my head. It's pretty standard at this point. Oh, The Sex Lives of College Girls. It's pretty standard at this point that you know it's just going to be 1 episode a week. But when you're looking forward to a show, like me with Daisy Jones and the Six, and I was like, yes, that's all I'm going to spend Friday doing is watching the entire season, and then it's just the first 3 episodes. It really pisses me off. I wish they would say, we're just releasing this amount of episodes, or releasing half the season. Like, I mean, I hate that too, but I guess if I know about it up front, I won't be as mad. But even with You season 4, Penn, who plays Joe, was like, yeah, I didn't even know they were going to split it up into 2. Like, why did they? I get it's to prolong the hype because people will binge watch a show in a day and then we'll talk about it for like 2 weeks ish. And then it kind of dies down. But with a show that's released weekly, I'm going to bring it up again. The Last of Us, like, you have 9 weeks to build the suspense, you know? But then some people won't want to tune in weekly. So they'll just not watch until the last one's released. And then they watch all 9 in one sitting or whatever. And then they talk about it then. So it's, I don't know. I just don't want it to go back to how it used to be because that's why streaming services got all the hype, because you would just be able to binge watch an entire season of a show in one day. And now we're just going back to how it used to be, and I don't like it. I could go on a rant about this forever. A wrap-up movie sometimes comes out like 5 years later, like Firefly with Serenity. I don't know what this is, but 5 years later, again, a long time to wait. Fell down a rabbit hole looking at Elvis history. It happens. Hello, Brittany. Hello, Sarah. Just got here and started, and I'm still reading Twisted Games. Love it. I finished Moby Dick Illustrated. Nice. I read 10 or so pages of Cress. That's the 3rd book, right? I own the first 3 still. I'm going to be unhauling them, and I haven't read them. But it's the 3rd one, because the first one's Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, Winter, and then I think there's another one. I'm reading Paper Girls, but I'm reading the bind-up, so it's like the complete story. So I don't know where any of the volumes begin and end. 82 pages of Don't Tell a Soul. Nice. Just saw BookTube and scrolled through Bookstagram. You can get lost in that. Sometimes I'll be watching reels on Instagram for hours. Time passes by so fast. 20 pages of Fury Song and ate some soup dumplings for lunch. Ooh, nice. I've been struggling reading and being productive. All I do most of the time since this year started is sleep. I feel that. I mean, you need like a reset every once in a while. Some break out of the section from the table of contents. Are you talking about for Paper Girls? Like if there's a break? I don't even know. My mental health has not been it. I'm in a life slump. Me too. I'm trying to stay on track, and that's why I started reading Atomic Habits, and it has helped me a little bit, but I feel like I need to actually start practicing what is being preached to me. Like I've been underlining everything and, annotating that book, but I feel like I need to actually put into practice what I'm being taught to try to make myself feel better. And I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube of like how to be more productive, how to be that girl. And that can be kind of toxic, but if you're going into it with the right mindset of like, I'm not doing this to be like, I'm not doing this to be, I don't know, problematic. I'm not doing this to be like, I'm better than you. You're just doing it to better yourself and like feel more accomplished and feel like you're actually doing something for yourself, like then that's all you can ask for. I'm still here, still movie engrossed. How far into it are you? Like what's happening without spoilers? Like I think if you just give me something vague, I'll know what you're talking about. I read 37 pages and something happened, but it is not enough to make up for the first half of the book. Oop. Netflix needs to bring all the canceled shows back. We pay enough for it. Yeah, and they're changing their guidelines and stuff. So now people are being deterred from using the same account. So like now they'll verify every time, I guess, you log in. I don't know how it's going to work, but every time you log in, they're going to verify that you live in the same vicinity or address of the person you're sharing an account with. So that way, like, you can't have the same Netflix account with like 5 different people that live a bunch of places. So like right now, I share Netflix with somebody who lives in Seattle still because I lived there for a while. But now I'll have to get a different one, and like I could only share the password with my sister because we live together. And I'm like, you guys make so much money. I don't understand. I get that a lot of people do take advantage of it and they'll share their Netflix password with like 30 people. Not that everyone can watch at once anyways. Like you can only have, I think, up to 3 people watching at one specific time. But I'm like, you don't need to do that. No, the 20 years later was when they made a new season of the show called The Return, and he released a second book after that season. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Got a half chapter of book club book, So Many Clues. Everyone knows everyone's binges. It's brutal torture. This 2 to 3 episodes dump. It's horrific. Exactly. I'm like, just give me the whole entire season. That's why I'm not watching Daisy Jones and the Six until all the episodes are released. And everyone's talking about it and everyone's all hyped. But I was really here thinking that they were going to give us the whole season. And they didn't say otherwise. And then it's like, oh yeah, 3 episodes. So yeah, out of spite, I'm waiting until the whole season's out. Stranger Things was good. We knew we were getting half, then knew the second half was a month later, pre-warning. Yeah. But again, like, why? I think it's strategic in, again, trying to keep the hype alive. But Wednesday, like we were talking about earlier, was released all at once. It was 6 episodes, and the hype for that was like a month after even that the show dropped. I mean, now it's died down, but the hype was real for a full month. We all turned to streaming services for a reason. Stop trying to bring back cable-style releases. Say it louder for the people in the back. Streaming services stopped doing full season drops because too many folks would just do a free trial or single month subscription and they wanted to increase their profits. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, like if you release half of it in 1 month and then the other half in another month, then you have 2 months that they have to stay subscribed. It's not just the 1 month for whatever. I mean, not that everyone can sit down and watch a full series in one sitting, whether or not you have the time. Some people just don't have the attention span for that. I'm definitely a wait until everything is out type of watcher. Only went ahead and watched Daisy Jones and the Six. I was like, what? Because I thought more people on Insta would be talking about it, and they're not. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. That's all I see on my timeline is people either rereading the book because they're like, the show is so good, or whatever. Like, I've seen a bunch of people posting about the book specifically and just like, have you guys watched the first 3 episodes yet? And I get not wanting to be spoiled, but I really don't care. I mean, I've read the book, so like I already know what's gonna happen. So even if I'm spoiled, like it's still not a spoiler. I'm just mad. I don't remember if I've told this dad joke on here, but what's the downside of eating a clock? It's time consuming. You have not said that, but good one. I love it. My new cover of Assassin's Blade just arrived. I'm not replacing all my Sarah J. Maas books with new covers, just one from each series. I respect it. Finished Tripping Arcadia, 2 stars, heading to my daughter's musical, Fiddler on the Roof. Ooh, have fun. I'm so sorry that you had a 2-star read. Just joined. I'm playing Sims instead of reading today. Sounds good. 1 hour and 35 minutes into movie. I think Netflix will verify by IP address. Probably. I'm just like, you guys make enough money. You don't need to do it. They're counting on people's fears of missing out and being spoiled. Exactly. I mean, yeah, that's why what was another show that I was like, I don't really want to watch it weekly, but I feel like if I don't, then I'm going to know what happens because people are going to post about it. I feel like that happens with a lot of things. I don't know. All right. This next sprint is going to be our last sprint. Like I said, I was probably going to be here for a shorter amount of time today, and I did not lie. and I will be finishing Paper Girls in the next sprint anyways, and then after that I'll probably be watching the Book of Boba Fett, so I don't really need to be on here for that, but I'm going to put the banner up for last sprint if I can find it. It's all the way at the bottom. Okay. All right. And I will see you all in 1 hour. Happy reading. Hello, hello. How did that last sprint go for you all? Let me take this banner off. I know I say that literally every single time, but I'm just like weirdly looking behind the screen. So I feel like to you guys are like, what is she looking at? I'm locating where the banners are. Anyway, how did that last sprint go for everyone? I did finish Paper Girls, all the volumes, and I like put them in my Goodreads as currently reading and then read and all that. I feel like I have to do that now because sometimes when I put books in and I just put read without putting currently reading before, it doesn't calculate the year that I did it because it's like, oh yeah, you read this, but we don't know when. Even though it's like, okay, well, I literally just read it. So you have to put currently reading first. At least in my case, that's always worked for me. Or you have to go in afterwards and edit the dates that you read it. But I just go ahead and put currently reading, even though I've already finished it, and then we'll refresh the page and then put done. But I really liked Paper Girls. I liked all the volumes overall. I gave the whole entire series a 4-star. There was some problematic words. There were some problematic words used, but I get that they were in the 80s, so like then they weren't problematic words or like less problematic. And maybe it was to distinguish like the time periods, but there was one that I was like, yeah, no. No, I don't like that. But I also was watching oh my gosh, I found I found this series of YouTube videos where they edit all of Grogu's parts together with subtitles, like basically what he would be saying if he was saying anything. And they're so hilarious. And obviously, there's going to be spoilers for the show, like The Mandalorian in them. But I was just cracking up. And actually, hold on, let me link one of them. But be warned, if you're going to watch The Mandalorian, like, don't watch this video. But they're so funny. And I've watched like 3 of them. I'm going to share the first one because I think I watched like 4. Did I literally just say that? I don't know if I literally just said that or not, but I think I still have it up actually. Okay, so I'm going to share the link in the chat for Grogu. Literally, you just click on this link for some serotonin because he is so freaking cute. And I just love it. Also, I did start this during the sprint also. So I was very productive in that last sprint. But this is like a short story by Sally Rooney. And it is so tiny. Like the actual book itself is so tiny. It's like a piece of cardboard, basically. I'm trying to hold my spot. I know what page I'm on. Look at how tiny. Let me put it next to, what should I put it next to? My phone. It's just as tall as my phone. And like, anyway. But yeah, so I started that, got to page 14. And then I got an Amazon package during that sprint too. I've been trying to buy things that are kind of outside of my comfort zone and read things that are outside of my comfort zone. And I saw this recommended for people who like stories that are, I don't know if I can still use this word. I guess I can. Like pandemic based. I was looking at pandemic based books the other day and I already have the book Nod, which is where everyone like can't sleep anymore. And this one, it's where a meteor shower happens and most of the world goes blind and then there's like carnivorous plants existing. But I feel like I'm in my sci-fi era, honestly. And this isn't that long. And there's a new introduction for this edition. I specifically wanted this copy of it because it has the best cover. But this is a pretty old book. And the new introduction for this edition is by Jeff Vandermeer, aka the author of Annihilation and like that series. But I'm super excited about it. It looks good. Anyway, let me see what you guys did during that sprint. I don't even know where I left off. That joke is actually from The Last of Us Part 2, FYI. Yeah, like the whole joke of, did you know that diarrhea is hereditary? It runs in your genes. Literally cracks me up every single time. I had to do work at work, so lame, but I did make it to 70% into Burn Our Bodies Down. Amazing. Also, yeah, very annoying that you had to do work at work. Like, how dare they? That's how I feel sometimes because, I get to just like listen to my audiobooks, listen to my podcast, or if I'm at a particular like shipping station, I can just like watch a show. Obviously, I'm careful about what I watch. I can't watch a show like Girls or Game of Thrones or like something like that. But I can watch The Mandalorian while I'm at work because there's nothing like that's gonna be seen by anybody if they walk by and they're like, "What are you watching?" I mean, I've been watching The Last of Us at work, and there's violence, obviously, but there's only like one scene, you know what I mean? But during that part, I'm just like, I turned my phone down. But yeah, I'm just like, let me watch my shows and just don't bother me. Finished the movie, loved it. Yes, was that your first time watching it? I know it was your last sprint, but I wanted to say hi, hello. Short sprints today. Yeah, I haven't really been reading that much, and like I just read probably all I'm going to be reading today. And I felt like there was no need for me to just sit here and watch shows when I could be like lounging on my couch watching shows instead. Read about 100 pages of Don't Tell a Soul and only have about 100 pages left, so I'll finish this evening for sure. Amazing. I read about 55 pages, really loving my book. I did not watch the Darts UK Open. Okay. Goodreads does do that. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we didn't calculate what year you read this. Like, tell us. Because I had a couple of books that didn't even calculate for last year, and I added them in January of this year that it was last year. So I was wrong about how many books I read in 2022. Love tiny books. They make me happy. Yes, same. I did not realize it was going to be this tiny of like a format. I thought it was going to be, obviously, it's a short story. I thought it was going to be thin, but not short and stout also. I loved Day of Trifid's TV show as a kid. It was so good. I didn't even know that it had a show. Sister Made in Monster is also a pandemic story. I'm interested, I have that book too. The Nice House at the Lake is a graphic novel that's kind of pandemic based. Volume 1 is on KU. I'm going to look that up actually. The Nice House at the Lake. Because I'm just in it to win it. And I know that like a lot of Emily St. John Mandel's books, I feel like all of them, Sea of Tranquility comes up a lot, but I'm not really interested in that. I do own Station 11, and I do want to watch the show, but I want to read the book first. That's also like pandemic based. And then what else? I'm blanking on something else. And then there's other ones that are kind of loosely based on pandemics, like The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker. It's like people go to sleep and just never wake up. But that one's more contemporary, I think. Anyway, then I forgot to look this up. The Nice House at the Lake. Interesting. I'm going to look into that. You could do a whole video. I could if I would ever pick up my dang camera. You've been cranking out that content, and I'm like, I just cannot keep up. First time watching Elvis. It's a 5 out of 5, right? Or a 6 out of 5. It's that good. Psychology work done. Now I can party, aka read. Exactly. If you're in your sci-fi era, when are we buddy reading The Martian? Listen, it's gonna happen. It's bound to happen sooner rather than later. And I think I have the audiobook, so like it could. But I feel like it's not the one I want to start out with because I really am into these kinds. As if I've read one yet. I haven't, but that's what I'm leaning more towards. Sea of Tranquility was pretty meh for me. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that it has great writing, but like the story itself isn't as gripping as people would like it to be. But it definitely does just look like a historical fiction to me when I look at it. I don't know. All right, everyone, that is it for Sunday Sprints. I will see you all next Sunday. I love you all so much. Goodbye.